All right. Happy hump day. I'm going to go ahead and get our live stream started. If you're late, that's okay. You can just catch up. Well, seeing that I'm late, nothing particularly, just had to find my center, do some prayer, some meditating, find my Zen, do the charts, and listen to a little Bloomberg. So nothing particularly slowed me down other than I was just slow waking up this morning. So I did do the Smart Money Roadmap, as well as I know you're all out there doing yours, or whomever is listening. Good job, Becky. Due diligence is really showing. So you're shining. You're spot on with the details, and your Smart Money Roadmap was on point. I had to update mine and revise mine. So it's good that yours didn't duplicate mine. Mine was decent for the start, but once the market opens, then we get a much better snapshot of what's going on. In our case, a screenshot. So where we are right now is pretty obvious. Oh, yeah, that's my boy. That's my boy Harsh. I'm gonna say good morning to Harsh. Good morning, Harsh. Yeah. So we are in a chop zone, the 7125 chop zone. So this is on the chart of price targets. It's the mid zone. So the mid zone starts at 70.95 through 71.25. Above 71.25 is a bullish continuation. So I, for whatever reason, I felt compelled to do a plan A of the upside, and I should not anticipate or expect price to get to 71.40. However, 71.40 is the first resistance zone towards the upper edge of the target. So it's the first resistance at 71.40. The gold line, previous day's high. So that's why it's gold, is it's the previous day's high. I do have the previous day's low marked off. It went as low as 70.47 yesterday. So I am particularly looking at the previous day's high because price is closer there. There's liquidity there. So my plan A is I've been using the call credit spreads lately. As price has been going up, I've been catching it at the top and riding it back down, which brings up a key point that I want to make in terms of being profitable, being a profitable day trader. I target 25%, hard line, especially towards the close of the month. I want to finish off the month real strong. And so 25% hard line, limit order, exit, automated, not changing it, extreme discipline, 15% loss. So my stop loss is going to be set at 15% moving forward. Not taking any max losses or anything above 15% on my stop loss exits. So with that being said, let's say I enter my call credit spread at 71.50 when and if price should get rejected at 71.40. I'm not saying that it will go to 71.40 because we need confirmation. We don't predict. We don't. That's where we get caught up, is in the predictions and expectations. So should price go to 71.40, I would and be rejected. That's the thing, is it has to be rejected at the high, and it has been. I'm just looking at yesterday, so we had a gap up today. So we gapped up from yesterday. Well, we finished the day here at about 70.66. This morning we wake up to a gap up, and our high so far has been 71.29, and we've seen a rejection there. So we've seen a retest at 71.29. It failed. So price did fail at the retest. I guess we could actually even do a blue line here. So we'll do a blue line there. Looks like we just had another retest. It rejected. So it's rejecting 71.30. We've got the previous day's high at 71.40. And so we're seeing rejection there. If it keeps rejecting, then I may just go ahead and enter a call credit spread. That's our retracement. So we need to be huge on retracements. We saw the rejection at 71.30. So this could be, a good entrance. Any time's a good entrance for a BWIC. BWIC positioned. I've got the recommendations from Grace. 71.50 would be the top of the BWIC, and then run it below the VWAP, below 7102. Grace is recommending. Grace is actually recommending 7080. I would go up higher than that. I would, yeah, 7090 would be where I positioned it, being that if it breached 7102, breached the VWAP, and came towards my 7090 position. I mean, it's gone through like two levels of support at that point. It's time to exit the trade. It's coming strong. Okay, so with that being said, I'm just patiently waiting for price to confirm. We do have confirmation here that price has not been accepted above 71.25. So in this instance, I would look at a position at 71.45. And just checking the delta on 7145. Got a 14 delta. Yeah, price just rejected. Okay, so either I enter this trade late or I go in closer. Go 71.30. But there is no resistance there. Let's see what 71.40 would be. 71.45. Maybe we get a retest of 71.30. I'm not ready to make a move yet. 7150 has a lot of open interest. So I'm just keeping that into consideration. There's 9,000 call orders there. So with that in mind, no retest of the VWAP. Let's see where the VWAP's at on the 2-minute. Oh, on the 2-minute, price is sitting on the VWAP and it's above the VWAP. So we do have a bull bias as of now. With that being said, I'm not interested in fighting the market today. So call credit spread is at this point invalid. Yeah, so we've had very little institutional play so far. We've got the previous day's high up here at 7140. It hasn't been tagged. Previous day's low down here 70.47. Did I say 70.40? 71.40 previous day's high. 70.47 previous day's low. Neither the high or the low have been tagged yet, so we can definitely expect one or the other, if not both. So we've got the VWAP being tested on the 2-minute time frame. Have not looked at a higher time frame. Let's take a look at the higher time frame. Higher time frame has us in a sell pattern. Bit of a sell-off. So with that being said, we could be looking at a bias flip or mean reversion, sorry. And 5-minute price is on the VWAP. Okay, so everything's confirming that we are seeing a potential flip. It's nice to know that I'm in tune because I was leaning toward a call credit spread. That price was at a level where it would reverse and go downward. So that is still a possibility with the VWAP test we're seeing right now. So finally, we're seeing a test of the VWAP. On the 2-minute, I have a candle that closed below it, a red candle. However, that was followed up with a big green candle and then another green candle above the VWAP. So I'm going to mark off a level. Well, the thing about it is 71.25 has to be accepted in order for me to make a play. That's the level we want. Well, but immediately after 71.25, we've got 71.30, which has been the resistance level where price has rejected. So that makes it an interesting decision. However, I know there's liquidity above and a thick pocket at 71.50. So with the acceptance of the VWAP at 71.19, I would enter a put credit spread at 71.10. It looks like a put credit spread at 71.10. That's far enough below the VWAP to exit the play in the event that the VWAP gets reclaimed. So I'm going to go ahead and look at a 71.10. 71.10 has decent premium. So I'm looking at a put credit spread 71.10 and 71.05. So I've got the play loaded. However, I saw a wick touching the VWAP. Don't like that. So we'll see where these candles close, the red candles. I want a clean close above the VWAP. So it looks like that wick hit 71.25 and rejected. Yeah, so that's why that level's in blue, because I identify that as a possible reversal zone right there. So 71.25 and 71.30 possible rejection reversal zones, and we don't want that. So I am going to stand down on this trade. That's not the confirmation I want. We can still be looking at a potential bias flip. So caution, caution, and caution at 71.25, caution at 71.30. Again, my position would be 71.10 below the VWAP. See a flip of the VWAP, and price starts heading towards my strike. 15% stop loss, hard stop. Just dialed in, dialed in. Not going to even think about it. So at the moment, I am leaning towards a put credit spread. However, that is subject to change. So let's talk other probabilities. Okay, looks like we're seeing a rejection of the VWAP on the 2 minute. Before I flip back to the 5 minute, I want to see the close of this candle. I'm willing to sacrifice some premium, some credit to get solid confirmation. I'm not going to enter the trade without a high level of conviction. Yeah, we're starting to see the formation of a green candle right now. The downside hasn't been tapped. being very strategic in my entry. My entries have been spot on, been 100% accurate up on my entries. Uh, so that has not been my challenge area. My challenge area this month has been the exits, just overstaying my welcome and not exiting when and as I should to capture the highest amount of profits. Um, and messing around with a few other platforms and changing my 25% and messing around with that. And once it's set, I'm just going to leave it moving forward. I've got my goals established at 25%. I know what to expect. Pretty close anyway. Okay, so reason I stopped mid sentence is because we're getting confirmation that the VWAP could be reclaimed. I know I need to stop. Ooh, we got a candle above the VWAP. Getting so excited when I see that because it's not solid confirmation. The first candle I see form above the VWAP doesn't mean that it's being respected. We're getting consolidation right now and a test. A price is retracing 71.25. So make it clear what a retracement is it's when price pulls back, then waits for proof that the level is being defended or rejected. So we saw a pullback from 71.25, which is a key level today, and we're seeing a retest. So if price gets accepted above 71.25 and it can hold for 5 minutes, then I will enter a put credit spread at the 71.10. I'll use 71.25 as a support level, the VWAP as a support level, positioned at 71.10, and my thesis will support the previous day's high target at 71.40, the gold line on my chart. So hopefully your chart looks like my chart and you can identify the targets easily. We are at the first target outlined by the Smart Money Roadmap at 71.25. That was a 60% probability. Um, that was our 60%. As 7125 had a 60% probability of a target. It's been hit. Highest percentage, it was 60, 7125. 25%, 7100. Only 10%, 7140. 7140, only 10%. I believe what I just heard was we're at an all-time high, 7126. But that's Bloomberg. I think they may be a little late with their news because I have us marked off at the high of 7130. Okay, so we're getting closes above the VWAP. Looks like price is going to hold above the VWAP. I just want to see a hold above 71.25, and I will accept that as confirmation that price is going to extend up. It's not a very big 5-minute candle, so 71.25 is my decision line. Gotta have lines, gotta have boundaries, gotta have boundaries. So if the VWAP gets rejected, my plan B will be what I consider an aggressive move. 7130 call credit spread. So I got a plan A and a plan B now. 7130 if the VWAP gets rejected. That would be, in my opinion, a very good position for a call credit spread because one, the VWAP would be a resistance level, two, 7125, a resistance level, which at that point has been clearly rejected, numerous times. 7130 was attempted and rejected immediately almost pretty fast, and then rejection at 71.25, like multiple attempts to push price up past 71.25 have been unsuccessful. So a position 71.30, 70, yeah. I'm feeling 71.35. I'm going to change that 71.35. That gives a little bit of time to stop loss if price breaches 71.30. Now, if it blows through there, hey, however, I mean, it could blow through there. I mean, to get to 71.40, 71.50. high number of call contracts at 7150. However, with the rejection of the VWAP, the target would be lower zone 7100. So price gets rejected by the VWAP. Target would then become 7100, and before price could blow back to 7150, there would be I would be out of the trade with 25%. So go ahead and blow away like a geyser because I got mine and I'm out. So that's what we're looking at right now in terms of plays. I got plan A. If 2071.25 gets accepted, then plan A is a put credit spread at 71.10. So that's plan, yeah, we'll call that plan A. The president has not offered us much more than this to try to figure out exactly where we're going. Maybe we learn more from the senator from South Carolina. Fascinating tweet here from Lindsey Graham. I had a very good call this morning with Harris, who was the Secretary of War, who had said about the way forward regarding the Iran conflict. I think the president's decision to make the blockade in place is very smart. It is having a strong effect on the ability of Iran to continue. 7110, 71. We'll stick with 7110. That's my first gut instinct. The spirit is telling me 7110. So I'll go with that on the put credit spread. And then that's with acceptance of 71.25. Plan B. VWAP gets rejected. I'm looking at a position at 7135. I'm feeling 7135. Call credit spread with reject VWAP. All right, so I've got plan B and plan A established, waiting for confirmation. Acceptance of 71.25, put credit spread, rejection of the VWAP, call credit spread at 71.35. So we've got our probabilities. Now we need confirmation. So what we're doing right now is waiting for direction. I'm making directional plays today. Today is not a condor day. My favorite play is the condor, but it's not today. That's all right. Put credit spreads, call credit spreads, pay well, as long as the direction is confirmed, which is, I believe, my strong suit is clearly identifying direction and targets. Again, I'm focusing on the exits today. Clean 25% exit, no holding for longer, 25% clean. I will position once direction is established. Positioning will be behind a support or resistance level. Um, with time, should price, it's very the upward side is pretty tight and compressed. So price could reject at once 71.25 is accepted, it could bounce and reject at 71.30. So with that in mind, the put credit spread would be down at 71.10 and give me um, prayerfully and prayerfully uh, time to exit the trade because if it gets rejected at 71.30, then it still would need to break 71.25 and then break the VWAP and then come towards my short strike, which would be at 71.10. So that's my thesis for plan A. However, we are seeing sell-off into the VWAP. I'm on the 2 minute for the sniper view. I'll go to the 5 minute for confirmation, though. Let's take a look at the higher time frame and see what it's confirming. So higher time frame shows that we've been in a sell pattern. First hour was buying, and now that we're headed into the pretty close to the third hour, it's been a sell pattern. So it's been bear. So we've been in bear, and that's nice to know, right? So that's what we're waiting for is the high probability setup. Yeah. So as we're waiting for the high probable setup, the A plus setup, it relates to open doors. And just want to read something about Revelation 3:7 through 8 about open doors. Revelation 3:7 through 8 is the beginning of the message to the church in Philadelphia, where Jesus identified himself as holy, true, and holding the key of David, possessing supreme authority to open doors no one can shut. He commends them for keeping his word and not denying his name. Despite having limited strength and promises, they have an open door of opportunity. Key details of Revelation 3:7 through 8. The sender identifies as holy and true, holding the key of David, referencing Isaiah 22:22, indicating supreme authority over the kingdom of God. The message Jesus affirms his absolute power, stating that he who opens, no one can close, and what he closes, no one can open. The condemnation. Although the church has little strength or limited power, they are commended for their loyalty, having kept God's word and not denied his name. The open door Jesus places before them, an open door that no one can shut, often interpreted as an opportunity for mission, ministry, or divine favor. Wow. These verses are part of the letter of the seven churches in Asia Minor, specifically addressed to Philadelphia, which was a commercial city. It is one of two churches, along with Smyrna, that receives no rebuke from Jesus. Wow, the open door. Open door. Yeah, I'll be meditating on that. The open door that no one can shut. Loyalty. keeping God's word, not denying his name. Yeah. So even now, bringing the Holy Spirit into this moment, this door, praying that it be revealed of high probability setup. It's all for the glory of God. It is his economy, his market, his control. And I'm thankful for the blessing to be able to walk through this door with clear vision. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. So, with that being said, we are looking at possible rejection of the VWAP. Price is going lower and lower. Let's take a look at that 5 minute. Price is still on the VWAP though. Still sitting on the VWAP. We need confirmation of acceptance or rejection. We're not going to chase. The price has moved away again from the 25, 71.25. It's moving away again. Candles are starting to form bigger. RSI is starting to decrease. Looking at some divergence. 5 minute is showing the formation of a red candle. 2 minute is definitely confirming rejection of the VWAP. I am going to go ahead and enter that call credit spread at 71.35.
Q3 exhaustion zone. Late session window. Manage positions carefully. No revenge trades. Smart money psychology now that we have loaded, move quickly before retail reacts.
Okay, so seeing rejection, I entered at 71.25. I went a bit more aggressive than I originally stated. However, I've got some hard principles in place to exit. Should price reclaim the VWAP, then I'm going to exit this trade very fast. Um, However, I don't, well, we'll see. Like I am not making any predictions other than there's a high probability that 7102 is our target with price rejecting the VWAP. The 2 minute chart is confirming we've got candles printing below it. So we're looking at some play around the VWAP line. The bias is flipped. I'll go on high alert. Have everything angling down, which is a good sign. The average true range is angled down. So is the RSI. We got big red candle on the VWAP. So it's showing that we're selling. If I look at the higher time frame, I'm sure it's going to confirm sell. Well, it doesn't, but that's okay. Oh, well, it is turning colors.
It sure does sound like escalation, broadly, however you want to describe it, and what we make of it is that it is not in the interest of the United States. And this is why, Joe, when you read earlier in the show what Lindsey Graham said, is that for anyone to describe the Trump administration's decision to leave this blockade in place on Friday as smart, I think is going to be really looked at in history as one of the worst, I should say, foreign policy decisions in decades. It was a blunder of epic proportions. If we go back to last Friday, we had a ceasefire in Lebanon and Israel. We had the Iranians saying they would open the strait, and they began to open it. We had the ceasefire in place. And what did Donald Trump do? He turned around and said, oh, you know what? They're removing their blockade, but not so fast for us. We're going to keep it in place. And oh, by the way, we're also going to board Iranian ships. That prompted Iran to do a complete flip, and that's where we are at this moment. It was completely counterproductive. It makes you scratch your head and wonder what is going on in the White House. And if Lindsey Graham is an advisor on this, I think it explains it all, because that was an enormous problem for the U.S. And by the way, not just the U.S., but the world economy. And if the strait was open, and we were really at the beginning if they won't have about at this point, it would be a very different place than we are right now. Much of it due to that decision to keep that blockade in place.
Okay, so I just did an analysis of probabilities and profits. Um, Grace, my chat GPT, um, I took a screenshot of the current market structure, submitted the current market structure to Grace, my chat GPT, and what we've seen here is we're getting confirmation on 5-minute close beneath the VWAP. The red candle is confirming that. Looking at the 2-minute, and the 2-minute shows definite rejection of the VWAP. So the highest, most likely target is at 7100, 7102. And Grace, the 25% is always the target. However, this one has the potential to produce 40% based on my analysis. So my thesis supports 40% on this trade. Again, it's a call credit spread. Took an aggressive position once I saw the VWAP being tested. 2-minute had showed that it was rejected. I entered at 71.25. got decent credit there, with the VWAP being a resistance level, and momentum trending down. TTM squeeze is showing some down drift, and the RSI is showing down drift. So in other words, my limit price is set for 40% on this first trade of the day, and we'll see. Yeah, as long as 71.20 does not get tested, this trade is going to be solid, without the risk of overstaying my welcome. And I will take the 40%, most definitely. Um, like I'm saying, my challenge hasn't been, having profitable green trades. My challenges is I've stayed in them too long, didn't take profits when they were available. So the market can hit a resistance level such as this one and bounce back up, and I don't want that. So I'm not going to risk that. If I see another A plus setup, then what I would do is simply uh, so this is a big move on the 2 minute. Yeah, this is a tense moment. Price took a big leap on the 2 minute back to the VWAP. And some play at 71.20. That's my warning sign. Seeing a retest retracement of the VWAP. Yeah, a little tension, little tension. Obviously don't want to see price claim 120. So again, I'm using the VWAP as the resistance level. So far, it is being tested, but there is resistance there, and it has not been breached. So, as of yet, on the 2-minute, it has not. I'm going to look at the higher time frame, 60 minutes, and it is turning green on the higher time frame. Price is below the VWAP though on the higher time frame, and well, that's my thesis. Is price is below the lower on the higher time frame. 60-minute price is below that. Let's take a look at the 2-hour. No. Well, let's take a look at the 1 day. 1 day is green. So we went to an all-time high today, but the 60-minute is below the VWAP. And then we go 30-minute, and it's below the VWAP. We go to the 5-minute, and we see prices at the VWAP. So that's how we're gonna just ride this out for now. With we're neutral bearish. I'll say we're neutral bear. but we are dead locked at the VWAP, which is at 71.19. Now I'm going to go ahead and put a blue bar at 71.20. As Hey. Well, we are being threatened right now. Looking to see where this 2-minute candle closes. Yeah, this is why I say 25%. Because in any given day, price can flip and turn against. So, um, Okay, so the 71.25 level does appear to be a strong level of resistance. Price, as of yet, hasn't accepted that level. This is another test of the level. It was with extreme force that it was approached. Um, Attacked. That was pretty much an attack of 71.25, which is where my short strike is sitting. Not out of danger yet. Never was completely safe, but the thesis is holding up so far, and price is retracing back to, will hopefully get back to, here I go hoping, which is not a strategy, but there's a high probability that it'll retrace back to 71.21. This is a reversal pattern here. Got the John Wick, you've got the red candle, and yeah, so reversals confirmed. However, it could bounce off of 71.21 and go back into the zone. So we'll see what happens when we get to this blue line here. However, we have a Q2 John Wick reversal. We got RSI pointing down after a strong move like that. We've got big red candles stretching down into 71.20 on the 2-minute chart. A lot of testing of my level. Um, Big candle pushing into it. Another wick down. A lot of testing, a lot of push downs, a lot of wicks. I'm still in, but I got my finger on the trigger to close this trade. However, getting another reversal signal. A doji would be good. A red candle would be good. That's indicator that price is not accepting at above 71.25. However, it keeps pushing into the zone.
Right. Well, we're going to have to continue to watch this space, just as Nathan always does, joining us from Bloomberg Intelligence. We appreciate it, Nathan. As always, he's had this covered, as Joe mentioned, for quite some time, and will continue to do so. But as Joe also mentioned, we were waiting an important conversation that's taking place at the Bloomberg Global Markets Summit, where Jonas Castillo, the president of Citadel Securities, is speaking. Let's listen live on Bloomberg and Trade. Banks. We have some of what I think is the greatest collection of quantitative research and talent embedded in the four walls. Hobbies and interests, and I find myself really connecting with them and just getting them to open up and talk about the things they like to do outside of the office, and so I feel like I found my tribe there. There's more quirky people there than in my former firm, and I'm really enjoying that. Your new bosses, Ken Griffin and Frank Chow, hired you 18 months ago to make Citadel Securities as dominant in block trading and in credit as it is in retail equities in U.S. Treasuries. I would say no small undertaking. How's it going? Yeah, look, I spent now about 18 months into my role at Citadel Securities, and many of you have seen us broadening and deepening our client franchise. As you suggested when I got there, we were already dominant in the electronic execution channel across global equities and fixed income. We are now deeply focused on building out a high-touch effort to really build deeper and more senior relationships with clients. I think going well, and I'll just take you through a couple of statistics. With one year opportunity fixed income, we looked at the rates markets globally. We now rank top three in U.S. Treasuries. Less than 2 years ago, they were in the top five. And then to your point, in I find this kind of we were already executing more equity flow on a daily basis than any other competitor on the planet. And any given day at Citadel Securities, we execute close to 25% of daily U.S. equity volume. We represent about a third of the volume on the New York Stock Exchange. I look at our listed equity options business year to date. We send out something like 35 to 40 billion option quotes into the market.
Okay, so it looks like price is being rejected at 71.25 again. Whew, that was stressful. That's what happens when you go aggressive with your strike placement, though. It will get tested, and it is being tested. It was tested, and that resistance level is holding up so far. And looks like, based on the 2-minute chart, it's holding up still. Yeah, not in the clear yet, are we? Okay, so this trade, oh, okay. Okay, so this is an attempt to get price accepted at 71.25. However, it is not looking like at this point it's accepted at 71.25. So it keeps getting rejected. So we'll see like what happens. Not a good place to be in the let's wait and see what happens. We don't want that. So let's keep an eye on this. Price is not accepted at 21.75 thus far, and I'm going to take a break.